What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Let's Chat with DJ Rage. Today I'm joined by two wonderful guests today. Dragon Spirit 76 is here. Say hello.
Hello.
And also we are joined once again by Mark, the Movie Man G. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on? You are joining us here for our, I think it's a fourth or fifth episode here of Let's Chat here for Friday, December 6th, 2019. Got a couple things we're going to go ahead and cover today. Try not to make this video as long as the others because I know that those are kind of long, so I'm going to get right into it here. First and foremost, we got a couple topics. Have anything you want us to talk about, stuff like that, be sure to go ahead and put it down in the comments. Be sure to comment us, let me know. You can always hit us up on all of our social medias that I just showed at the opening of the screen, and we'll show them a little bit later here on. So we're going to go ahead and move on here to our first topic of discussion, and that is going to be Halo Master Chief Collection. Halo Master Chief Collection finally launched here for about a couple days ago. I say on Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome for Xbox Game Pass, which is also available for PC, which is good. A lot of static going on right now with a lot of people playing it right now. A lot of people are pissed because, of course, Master Chief Collection really means that it contains all your Halos 1 through 4, and it included Halo Reach, which we're really driving for Halo Reach. First impressions jumping on Master Chief Collection, though, you only have Halo Reach to go ahead and play the thing. So everybody was pretty pissed off about that. I do know that Microsoft did announce a while back that it was going to be Halo Reach, and the rest of the Master Chief Collection was going to be coming on later next year or early next year to go be adding that on there. But a lot of people were giving a lot of static that they weren't able, even for multiplayer, to be able to play a lot of the multiplayer maps from the original Halo. So a lot of people were kind of pissed about that. I myself kind of like it. I like Halo Reach. I think Halo Reach was really good. Um, that's my impression of it. I've been playing it. I actually really enjoy it. Andy, what are your impressions about it?
I liked it, but since I'm not really that big on playing on PC, um, it doesn't really matter to me too much.
Alrighty, alrighty. Now I do know it was on Game Pass for before then, wasn't it?
It's still on Game Pass.
Right, but it was on Game Pass before. Am I correct?
Well, not on the Xbox version, yeah.
Okay, and for the Xbox, it was already on Game Pass. Did it? It had already included
It had
um,
everything.
everything, right? And
Yeah.
now, if you play it on the Xbox, have you checked if now if you play it on the Xbox, does it still have everything, or is it just Reach right now?
I haven't tried, but I'm most likely it's most likely it's gonna have everything.
Yeah, I do know a lot of people were saying that they were able to play, still continue playing all that stuff. A lot more people were pissed off on PC. For PC
Yeah.
being that they weren't able to play any of the original Halos and it was only Halo Reach, things like that. So I know a lot of people were pissed off about that. But me, myself, I really enjoy Halo Reach. I think it's really good. Yes, one thing that Andy did experience when he was playing was a little bit of a kind of a almost a motion sickness a little bit, maybe because of the frame set or whatever, or maybe it's because of lack of sleep that we've been getting, especially Andy, who
Yeah.
is pretty much a fucking vampire. But I myself felt the same thing too. Maybe I mean the graphics look amazing. They look really great on PC. Definitely do recommend it if you have Xbox Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate. I'm sorry, definitely want to do that. Definitely want to drive that. Out of
Yeah.
all the big streaming services currently out right now for console, for the PlayStation 4, with PlayStation Now, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Google Stadia, which is a complete joke. And, with all that going on, everyone seems to be going that route of going with game streaming as a service, which is kind of cool. I would not be surprised if Redbox decided to go that route with streaming games as a service. Um,
Don't they already?
I know that they stream movies. I'm not sure they stream games yet, especially when it comes to consoles, because that's a
Okay.
little bit of a tricky kind of thing to do. It'd be nice to do it for PC. The only problem is that they don't do PC games on Netflix, but that'd be kind of something really interesting to see them do. Um,
Yeah.
I wonder how that would work, because you got GameFly out there, giving, doing the go ahead and you can rent games or whatever and send them to your home, which I think is always a risky business for them. You know, because I mean, let's be honest, if you're from the valley or you're from certain areas, you're not returning that game you want. Like fuck that. And you're using a prepaid card or something. Like you don't care. Like okay, tag it. Who cares? You know what I mean? And then they're just out there. Like what's it gonna do? Hit your credit? Like if you're from the valley, you don't care about your credit. Not good. I'm not completely saying that should be done, but in the same sense, it's kind of a risky venture. Um, yeah, I
I
I
have
personally,
something to confess.
what's up?
I've never played Halo. Is it worth the hype that it gets? I've
I
never played
think
any Halo game.
I personally think Halo is actually really good. Halo One was great. It's a classic. Halo One was great. Halo Two I think was even better. Honestly, myself. Halo Three, I'm probably gonna catch a lot of hate for this, but Halo Three I wasn't a big fan of Halo Three. I still liked it, but I didn't think it was that great compared to the others. And then of course Four was all right. It wasn't too bad. Still, again, kind of felt along the lines of Halo Three. And then of course Halo Reach was actually pretty good. Um, don't get us into Halo ODST because that was garbage. ODST sucked. But yeah, what are your impressions?
To
Trent?
me,
Yeah, you, Andy. I'm sorry.
I didn't really finish all any of them. So yeah, to me it was just another first person shooter. So it
Okay,
didn't really matter to me.
I get you.
Now,
I
let me
get you.
ask you this. There's been talks of supposedly making a Halo movie, TV show. Do you think that's a great idea? Do you think there's possible stories to do that?
Well,
Like as an actual movie,
they did do
TV
the
show? You think
animated
people would be interested?
series. They did do an animated series, I believe, a couple episodes
Yeah,
for the Spartan Assault, I believe, before Spartan Assault launched. And then,
they
of
did a
course,
live action one also.
yeah, they did a
Is
live
it?
action. That was more of a fan made, though, I believe.
Yeah, but like a
Um,
Yeah,
big budget. I mean, do you
like a
see in your
full
lifetime
Hollywood
ever make
flick,
a Halo movie?
like a full Hollywood blown flick.
Full Hollywood, fucking 150 billion, $1 million, whatever they spend on the movies.
I
You see that
think,
happening?
I think that would be a good idea. The problem is before when they first announced that they were going to make a Halo movie, I'm talking about years ago. The
Yeah.
talks were getting Vin Diesel, which okay, look, I understand. I'm not knocking Vin Diesel or The Rock or any of them. I think their acting is not too bad, depending on movies that they're in, of course. Um, but I'm sorry, I don't feel like watching Triple X try to play Master Chief. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like, find someone who actually fits the role, not because you're just trying to get some big name in there, just because you want to just be able to sell the movie. Because look what happened with Doom. With the
Sorry.
Doom movie, here we have The Rock in there, and it was a horrible movie. It was a horrible movie. Let's go back even further. Let's go back to the early '90s. Let's go ahead and go to Super Mario Brothers. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't good.
Don't knock the Super Mario movie.
Look, man, the Super Mario was horrible, dude. Even John Leguizamo and them. And it's funny because John Leguizamo came out not too long back and did an interview, and they were kind of going over his old movie history and stuff like that. And he's like, that's one of the movies I regret. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, you did the pest, bro.
Yeah,
You
that's
played
saying a
you
lot.
played the killer clown in Spawn, dude. Like that one. You were wasn't he in was it To Wong Fu or something like that? Thanks for Everything, Love Julie Newmar movie or whatever,
yeah.
where they're all cross
Chi
dressing.
Chi.
Yeah, and it's like you've played some pretty questionable roles. I'm not gonna lie, his role in that one. I mean, he did come. He did a pretty good job in the role for what it was. But dude, like let's be honest, Spawn wasn't that good either. Graphics were horrible. I mean, the CGI was terrible. It was horrible. But we'll get more into that later. But yeah, for a Halo movie, get someone. Stick to script. Stick to what it is. I know there's a lot of great people you could get to play Cortana. You can have a lot of good actresses and a lot of actors to go ahead and come out and play the roles. Just play the roles. Stick to the story. Stick to what it is. And I think they've got a gold mine there. Yes, I do think that could be great. Do I think they'll do it? There's been a lot of talks about it for a long time. Maybe. Maybe they might do it. Who knows? Maybe it's one of those things in the back burner that are currently going. But moving on. Moving on to the next topic of discussion, and that is going to be PlayStation 5. Now, look, I don't know if you've either been living under a rock recently, or you just don't even care about video game news at this point. Maybe everyone's getting tired, like, man, it seems like every other year there's a new system, which, when it comes to PlayStation and Microsoft, that's really necessarily not true. They do have usually about 10-year lifespans on their consoles. The Xbox 360 went, what, 12, 13, 14 years? PlayStation 3 did about the same. Even though they did get a 1 year late start, but we'll get more into. I can get into more details about all that on another time. For right now, though, there's been a lot of leaks on the PS5, and on the PS5, there's been a lot of stuff. So we're gonna take a real quick look back at to what was some of the leaks that came out. First and foremost, you had the PS5 that was first launched. This was the first original design that was being leaked out there. Your glowing giant button in the center of the controller, your analog sticks having these glowing buttons going to it. Even glowing button on the PlayStation 5. Let's be honest, that's a lot of LEDs, and Sony doesn't like to put a lot of LEDs in their shit. Most consoles don't. But this one right here recently came out. This is an article for back in November 27th of 2018, over a year ago, of possible prototypes. And this person that came out said, I am telling you this is a prototype for the PS5. I'm telling you this is what it looks like. To be honest with you, this looks a lot more like the actual PlayStation 5, how it would look. They're even showing it in safe mode for the developer, saying that this is a developer console for the PS5. The possibilities there. For it to look, let's be honest, this looking like this prototype you see here, as opposed to the supposed concept here, it's night and day. They're completely different. This prototype here could possibly be a dev console. To be quite honest with you, it looks more like a PlayStation standard, or even about they're saying about the size of the Pro. But the talks about it at the time where it was going to sell around $500 for the console, I think that might be going on. Then fast forward to quite a few months back, and back in August, Sony went ahead and put in for a patent on a very unique looking PlayStation. And let me go ahead and show you the patent that was shown here. And this was brought back in August of this year, and this was a patent for the PlayStation 5 that people saw. As you see, you got the giant grills on the side, the crazy V shape in the center, which allows tons of airflow, I would imagine. Tons of airflow to go ahead and cycle in here to go ahead and keep it cool. Because let's be honest, the PS4 and the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One and One X run very, very hot. You're looking at almost 200 degrees Fahrenheit at least for the CPUs. So definitely need something to keep it cool. So this is kind of a neat little thing. You see the little rubber feet that looks like it's possible to have it on top so they could stack for some reason. I don't show any type of possibility of it being stood on its side, which makes sense. And then you see these, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, you got 5 USB ports and one giant one here, and you got a button, a lot of little things here to go ahead and show it off. And so a while back, about a couple months back, this was brought up thanks to at Zone of Tech for bringing this leak out. And this is supposedly a leaked picture of the actual developer console. As you see here, once again, here are your 5 USB ports. Looks like maybe 3, possibly 4 USB-C ports here, along with basic USB 2.0. And of course, if you look here, this is a possible FireWire port, or even possibly a different type of USB port of general. Here's looks like a power button stuff. Now, what's funny here, as you see blurred out, this is a possibility. They're saying that this is an LED screen, that this shows different information. I'll get more in detail with that. Of course, you got your buttons, and of course your Blu-ray drive here, which a lot of people were worried. And we notice up here at the top, it says Prototype 1 not for sale. Now, this is pretty on par and with what PlayStation usually launches on their dev kits. All their dev kits, most of their dev kits don't look like their dev kits, or like the final product for the console. I don't think this would be the final console here, but let me give you a picture. Kind of launched, came out almost a month ago now, I'd say, of the new development kits actually working, and here they are. These are the development kits. Now behind it, if you notice back here where I'm pointing out, these are the development kits for the PS3 and the PS2. These are the old development kits here, as if you notice, and if you know anything about those consoles, these are definitely not the PS3. Actually, I'm sorry, this is a PS3 and PS4 development kits, and these are definitely not what the final product looked like. So again, for this to be the final product, I seriously doubt it. But a couple quick interesting features here. If I actually zoom in here a little bit for you, you'll see once again here are your USB ports. Kind of, it's kind of a grainy photo here, of course. Here are the buttons, Blu-ray drive, all this stuff. And here, of course, is a serial number, which is kind of blocked out here for the prototype here. But if you look in the screen here, the LED screen on the front here is actually gives you more information. A lot of people were kind of trying to debate, kind of trying to break it down, or is it showing a game? Is it showing something? No, actually, what it's giving you is IP addresses, MAC address, all that information, of course, for a development kit. So I can see if you notice, look kind of closely, it kind of looks like these are definitely for airflow. Definitely for airflow for the console, which makes sense because it does run quite hot. Everyone in tech knows the cooler it runs, the better it runs. But here's another thing I want to look at. I wanted to look at the actual PS5 controller. If you look at the PS5 controller, there was a lot of talks about what was going on. Like we saw with that first picture I showed you a little while ago, the little glowing rings here and there. Yeah, that's far-fetched. Notice that the analog sticks look pretty similar to the analog sticks. If anything, they look possibly a little bit bigger, but it could be me. The buttons look a little bit more, and they've already talked about it having haptic feedback, all that stuff on the controllers. But the funny thing is that this cable right here that charges the controller, Sony has already announced that they will be USB-C, not micro USB as we currently have in the PS4 controller. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. It gives a not a quick, fast charging, quick communication if you have it plugged in and stuff like that. That's great. So I think that's a great thing. Also, the trackpad is gone and is now a LED screen. An LED screen where you can use. This is actually really, really. So there's a lot of people going around. They're saying that this is an actual pretty good thing to do for the reason being that when it comes to typing, doing things like that, it makes it a lot easier to type, a lot easier stuff. To be honest with you, typing on an LED screen for being that far in, I don't know. I don't know, Andy. If you had a touch screen on a PS4 controller, Andy, where you could type on the where the trackpad would have been, would that feel comfortable to you?
Not really.
Okay, explain and tell me why would you think it wouldn't feel comfortable?
It, I have no idea because if it's gonna be the same size as the trackpad, yeah, that's too small.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the picture and the design right now, it looks a little bit bigger than what the trackpad was, just a slight bigger. The controller actually looks a little bit more bulkier, a little bit more, kind of quite bigger, and
Yeah.
a little bit more kind of heavier at that, which I actually thought was pretty cool. What I don't understand is why they didn't go ahead and move the analog sticks as well. So by not moving the analog sticks to make it a little bit more ergonomically designed, that's the biggest thing there that I find very strange because that's one biggest gripe that Sony got was the fact that their controller was a good controller, but they felt that the analog sticks were causing a lot of problems, especially when it came to your thumbs, things like that, doing all that type of stuff. So definitely something they could work on. You still look like you see the PlayStation button there. Now, Mark, you've played the PS5. What do you think? Do you think where the trackpad is in the center, would that be a little bit easier for you to make type something on screen?
I don't know. You know what? I'd have to test it out until it comes out. Let me ask you, what's the price range on the PS5 again?
So currently, right now, there's a lot of speculation behind on price. There hasn't been anything really fully announced on the price for the PS5, but right now it's speculated anywhere between $400 to $500. Sony
Wow.
did make a big mistake, and I hope that they learned. Back when the PlayStation 3 launched, when they first launched the PS3, the Xbox, Microsoft was really worried, right? They were going head to head, so Microsoft was scared, like, okay, what are we gonna launch at? Of course, PlayStation had their E3 or whatever. So Microsoft decided, you know what, we're going to launch the Xbox 360 at $300 because they wanted to make sure to corner that market quick. PlayStation decided to come out with, if you remember, Andy, they came out with the 20 gig PS3, the original
Yeah.
fat model, the George Foreman grill, and their asking price for that one was $400. With today's market, that's about $500-600 technically. And then on top of that, the 60 gig backwards compatible model, they launched at 599. So everybody in the room, like all the air was sucked out of the room because people were like, "Dude, that's expensive." You know what I mean? So on this one, I'd like to think that they learned from their mistake. Even with the PS3, they took a $200 to $300 loss per console. They took billions of dollars in loss on the PlayStation 3, recouped it on the back end. Way later on the back end. We're talking years later. But for a long time, they were losing a lot of money on that. I can see them losing even more money on this. I don't expect it to be more than $500. I
Do you
don't.
see them selling at $500?
I do see them selling at 500. Let's be honest. Because when it comes to PlayStation, let's be honest, people are going to go and buy with the PlayStation name. They're going to buy the PlayStation name. Let's be honest. If it was, if Nintendo launched the Switch at $500, Andy, would you have bought a Switch for 500?
Mm, probably.
Wow.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't have. I think 500 is too much. The Switch is a great console. I think it's a really good console. I like the innovation of it behind it because Nintendo's
Yeah.
always been about innovating something a little
Well,
bit newer. No,
yeah.
tell me.
Actually, it would have depended if it had better specs.
Alrighty. So like you mean like so for instance like if the screen wasn't running at 720, if it was running full 1080, if it was running full 1080, probably a little bit of a bigger screen, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit better work on the analog stick so they weren't getting that drifting issue that you were getting with the analog, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe if it included better memory,
Yeah.
better memory on it. If they carried even if they carried a 64 to maybe, you know, 64, maybe even half, 1 terabyte memory. I mean, it's not unfeasible to see that at $500. I'm sure that could fit in the package. You know,
Yeah.
so I can agree with you
And
on that.
and a better processor and
Definitely,
GPU.
definitely, definitely, definitely. So I agree with you. If they were to upgrade all that and sell it at the $500 price mark, yeah, I would have done that. If it was something to compete with these consoles, but
Yeah.
unfortunately they didn't. So Nintendo was smart at releasing at the price points that they did. Um,
Yeah.
will it sell at 5, Mark? I'm not exactly sure. I think it will. I think it will sell at 5. I think if they push it to 6, I think it will. Um, but I think it'll sell. But I think a lot more people are going to be going with the low end on it. I don't want them to do what Microsoft did with the Xbox Slim, uh, with the no disk drive on it. That was the original plan, was for the consoles was to have no disk drive whatsoever, digital only, and those that had disk drive were even more expensive. I'm glad they kind of turned away from that and decided to stick with disc-based consoles, honestly, because quite frankly, from a budget standpoint, I don't see why they would drop more money, to make a secondary console just because it includes a disk drive. You know what I mean? And if any of y'all out there have an Xbox Slim uh, diskless system, you understand that you drop $200 on a Xbox One S system, 1 terabyte with no drive, for an extra $50. You could have gotten one with a drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and then even buying a pre-owned. So I'm not knocking people for doing that. I'm not knocking you for if you bought it, great. I'm not gonna knock you for it. But at the same time, it's like you want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth for what you're buying. Don't just buy it because it's out there, guys. Just if you have the money, hey, you know what? Fine and dandy. If you want to go ahead and blow it on whatever, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not knocking that. If you got the money, hey, you do you. For myself, speaking for myself, money's tight, man. Money's tight. I'm not gonna go and drop money on a console, stuff like that. Now, question I have is this: Are y'all Are y'all gonna buy the PS5 at launch?
Me, I can't. Since I'm also jobless. Hell no.
Hell no. No, I
No.
never buy systems. I've never ever bought a system on the date it comes out. I at least wait a year or two. I just, I think the thing that kind of sucks is I feel like in gaming, the consoles are just gonna get more and more expensive. We have close to $2,000 cell phones now. Just the phone, everybody uses the phone all the time, but The game
Yeah.
consoles, I think they're gonna go higher and higher before you know it. Yes, they're gonna have a lot of perks and all this stuff you can do with them, but I wouldn't be surprised if later you're paying 1,000. People are paying 1,000 for a system.
You know,
Honestly.
I completely understand with you on that too. I mean, if you notice throughout the past 10 years, video game consoles have gotten more expensive with more type of tech in there, and that's because they're still trying to catch up to PC gaming. Because PC gaming supposedly is a be all end all of everything, and I myself feel that PC gaming is a lot more stable, a lot more better. Um, but that's my own opinion, of course. It all depends on who you are, or what you think of. I mean, and no one's gonna knock that either. But the funny thing is that as consoles get more and more advanced, closer to PC gaming, they get higher, more expensive. Makes sense. You're adding more technology, you're adding more things to it. Makes sense. But
Yeah.
when it comes to PC gaming, have you noticed that PC gaming has gotten a lot more cheaper? The pricing, the value has gone down. What hasn't gotten cheaper is your video card. Your video
Yeah.
cards. Your RTX 1070 or your RTX 2080s. You're spending a lot on a video card, but that's technically it used to be your CPU, your motherboard, all that stuff, and that's great, still is. But right now, video card is king. The video card is king. That's what gets you playing. That's what keeps you playing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what people are going to be feeling on this console. I don't know. Here's another look real quick at some of the other some of a little bit more of a digital design that somebody made here from Let's Go Digital. They made their own little picture of the PS5 design, and this of course gives you release date and specs on it. So the release date right now is looking to be somewhere. They've already announced they're coming out next year, somewhere around holiday of next year, which makes sense. More than likely they'll release any time around October, November-ish, things like that. I hope they don't, for lack of a better term, I hope they don't fuck up. Because if they fuck up like they did with the PlayStation 4 or like they did with the PS3, where they ran out of they didn't make enough, knowing that the supply was there. You know what I mean? I hope they don't fuck up with that. A lot of great specs stuff with that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the article for the articles and stuff that I'm using here. I'm gonna put the links in the articles here. This is actually a pretty good one done by BGR. Really good article, stuff like that. So definitely something you want to check out and stuff like that. So we're
Do you
gonna go
think
ahead
the
and move
4K is worth the price?
on.
Adding the 4K to it. Didn't Xbox add that to their
So
systems?
so here's a funny
They
thing.
the
Yeah, go
thing
ahead.
is though, the 4K was only available to, I guess, for streaming on the Xbox One S, and
Okay.
then on the Xbox One X, it was 4K gaming and streaming.
Mm, okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, like that's the funny thing. Like, yeah, Xbox One X, Xbox One actually kind of cornered the market there on the 4K. PlayStation, even with the Pro, like the PlayStation Pro is more simulated 4K. It's not full 4K.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you. That's pretty embarrassing that PlayStation couldn't pull that off. Like, really, your competitor
Yeah,
Microsoft
that's what
just
surprised me on that.
And the
yeah,
Xbox One S had the 4K Blu-ray.
yeah, exactly. They did.
Yeah, that's why I think they're trying to sell it as a selling point. Also, as the new PS5. Oh, now you got 4K for the gaming or the
And that's because
Blu-ray.
they're already working on 8K televisions too. That's the even
Yeah,
more messed up part. 8K TVs are going to be out by holiday next year also. So what's that say about the PS5? Is it already going to be visually obsolete?
it's a great point.
You know what I mean? Is it already going to be behind the curve? When the PlayStation and the Xbox came out, it was at the height of the 4K, of the 4K movement. Remember back when when the VR launched, they were like, hey, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and launch it with, for 3D capability, stuff like that. And 3D died. 3D TVs
Yeah,
died.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know one person. All of us know that one person that bought the 3D TV and it was worse shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not knocking his television. It was a good
It's,
TV for
it's
what it
it's
was.
nice. It's a nice TV, and I got some nice 3D glasses with it too.
Yeah, like it.
yeah.
I mean,
I had a 3D TV too. My son broke it. I had to buy a 4K. I had to upgrade, but honestly, I was happy with my 3D TV. I used it once in a while, but it's just a little gimmick. It's just a gimmick. It is. Some of the stuff looked awesome. I like watching Avatar when it was on 3D. But I
Yeah.
think technology nowadays with the 4K, the 8K, the OLED, the QLED, you're not gonna need glasses, later. It's gonna be clear as hell. So,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. And don't get me wrong, like the 3D TV, yeah, it was a great gimmick. A lot of stuff was coming out in 3D. You had your 3D Blu-rays, you had your 3D HD DVDs that were coming out. So things were coming out in 3D. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you, watching normal television, this is one thing I noticed really quickly, and as you see with these thick ass glasses that I'm wearing, it's really, obviously I have trouble with sight. But here's the thing. One thing I always notice, and I used to call out Art on this. Shout out to Lord Infamous. Um, I used to you watch normal television. Jesus, dude, it's like every freaking episode or every show you watched looked to me and felt like it was being shot on a freaking like camcorder. You know what I mean? The image looked amazing. It looked great, but it looked like it was all done on camcorder. Just the way it was, the way everything moved, it just felt very. It felt like if I was, recording the video or whatever in my home. So that's the way I felt when I
How
would
about the
watch it.
3D, the
Yeah, on
visuals?
on the 3D, yeah, 3D, whether I be watching television or whatever, it just felt very weird. It looked very weird to me. Um, and then now if you watch movies in 3D or whatever, yeah, they looked great. The 3D, you had your little glasses or digital glasses or whatever, stuff like that. But if those things broke, dude, come hell or high water, dude, you're gonna be go out looking for glasses. You're gonna drop a ton of money on new ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what glasses too.
Yeah, like I know the
Yeah,
one
it
that
depended
Infamous
on the
had.
glasses.
I know the ones that Infamous had like built-in battery that needed to be charged and all this shit. And then
Okay, yeah, that's stupid.
yeah, and then when his died, when one of them broke, I remember looking for him. It was like $200 or $300 for a pair of glasses. I'm like, get the shit out of here! Like,
I
get out
think
of here!
those were the earlier versions of 3D because the ones I got, mine came with a TV and they were the ones with the battery. I could get the battery anywhere. You know what I mean? So I think that was probably the earlier versions of 3D. The first time I walked into seeing a 3D movie was at his house. I had already seen Tron. I had it on Blu-ray. I go to his house. He shows it to me in 3D. I was blown away. I was like, I
Yeah,
watched Tron the wrong way.
yeah.
I
Like
should have seen it in 3D.
I have
Yeah.
a crazy astigmatism stuff like that, and I have trouble. And being that I'm colorblind, that doesn't really help. I might as well just kill myself.
Yeah,
But anyway, so but being I can't watch movies in 3D. I don't see movies in 3D. I don't see them in 3D. I don't see them jump out at me. I remember seeing Tron and watching Tron in 3D. I couldn't see shit. Most of the 3D movies when I watched Avatar, I didn't see nothing. I always felt like I wasted money. Couldn't see it in 3D. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, I just dropped an extra almost $10 on top of each ticket and shit just to watch the same freaking movie blurry.
yeah.
It was like I was watching the movie without my glasses. So, you know, great for those that can enjoy 3D. That's another reason why I can't get into the PS VR because that it's not glasses friendly, dude. That headset.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it felt very
Well,
uncomfortable. I felt like my glasses were pushing against my head, like right up against my face. And I felt like all this was getting kind of broken. But then again, I have big glasses too. And even when I adjust a strap or whatever, then it kind of felt like it was kind of falling off, things like that. You know, I was kind of laughing the other day with somebody because I was telling them like it'd be kind of funny if they made that PSVR like the Virtual Boy, where it had no strap, just a stupid stand, and you would just stick your head in it. That'd be kind of messed up.
yeah.
But then again, it wouldn't feel very realistic either. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's enough of the PS5 right there. We're going to move on to another thing here. And Netflix has launched a new show. And the name of the show is called or new movie. And the name of the Netflix movie is called The Irishman. And this stars Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, um, so many great, wonderful actors in here. Ray Romano, Harvey Keitel. Anyway, Mark, what were your impressions? I know you watched it yesterday. I know I saw it about a day or two ago. Um, what were your impressions on it?
I really enjoyed it. It's like I told you, I have my little opinions about Martin Scorsese and the comments he's made about Marvel and the cinematic and this and that. But you can't deny that he does make good films. You know what I mean? Everything that he does from Casino, Goodfellas, it's always top form. And it's like I told you, I felt like my favorite Martin Scorsese movie was Casino, and this one is up there for me with Casino. It just the acting's top notch. De Niro, Pesci, like I told you, Pesci was in top form. It felt like he wasn't, he was never retired. It felt like he just fit into the acting back, like nothing. Uh, Pacino, I was expecting him to go a little, hooah, a little crazy, but he actually, I found myself getting like upset at his character because I was like, they're telling you, dude, they're telling you, watch yourself. You know what I mean? And it's just like I was drawn into the characters, the story, and I honestly felt like during the time I was watching it, I was moving my head closer to the TV. Like I was really drawn into the movie, the characters, the story. Uh, 3.5 hours to me, it felt like it didn't drag. You know what I mean? It felt like it flew by pretty fast. The story was great. Um, I just it's there's the little gripes, like I told you. There's some parts that I disliked, and the ending. No spoilers, but it just felt like it was. I could have expected the movie to be a little bit longer for it being 3.5 hours. But
Yeah, I
what do you
think
think about
I think so too. I agree with you on pretty much every aspect there. I liked the movie. I thought it was great. I felt that sometimes I felt like it kind of drug for a reason, for a little bit too long. Like I like that they put a lot of backstory into each of these characters. Showing
Yeah,
you each and every character. Of course, based on a true story, but they give you a lot of backstory, for each person and stuff like that. But then at times I felt like, okay, too much backstory. That's like telling my story of like, okay, so this is DJ Rage, this is what he does, this is what he does, this is what he lives like every day, and then showing scenes of me using the restroom. Like there's certain things that could have been omitted, you know what I mean, and didn't really need to be shown or said, you know what I mean. But then again, I like that there was a reason for a lot of it, you know what I mean, for you to watch it. Um, and then I also like the fact that at moments it to me, at least to me, it felt that at moments that if they went, they started going into almost like you were getting into a sleep mode, you know, um, to where you were kind of like, okay, I might be losing the audience or whatever. They jumped over to going over to, adding some action scene to it or something that was like, oh shit, what? Like kind of like woke you up out of it. You know what I mean? That I liked about it. I agree with you on the ending though. The ending was just like it's like it was like Sopranos.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it was like the fuck, you know. I found myself like doing the same thing you told me earlier. Rewinding back, and it's like, wait, what the shit did I miss? You know what I mean?
yeah, I get that. Yeah, yeah. I felt like there could have been more character development. I saw online on social media that some people were getting upset about Anna Paquin, that plays De Niro's daughter, that she
Yeah,
hardly had any lines in the movie. And I saw another actor defend Scorsese saying, "Hey, sometimes lines get cut. It's for the director's vision." But I feel like she could have had a little bit more story. I think she honestly, as the grown-up version of his daughter, she has like one line. I feel like they could have added more. They should have added more lines because you see her grow up as as a child, and you see her reactions of seeing everything happen, how she feels about her father, how she feels about Pesci. You know what I mean? And then as she gets older, you see that she realizes who her father is, what he does. I feel like she could have maybe not opened up more, but there could have been more father daughter, you know, something there between them that they could have like her angry with her father or something, you know what I mean? Like I feel like her character development could have been a little bit better, but besides that, even with the little stuff that we got, I think it was good. I think we could have had more. You know what I mean? Like there's little stuff. The same thing with Keitel. I feel like he popped up here and there in the movie, but I feel like I wanted more Harvey Keitel. With
I
everybody
agree.
else, more Ray Romano.
I
You know what I
agree
mean?
with
More
that. Like, well, Ray Romano played a perfect character because he wasn't a very influential character to have and a very important character, but yet he still had some base of importance in the movie.
yeah,
Not to the
yeah.
point to where he had to be there all the time. 'Cause let's be honest, I don't look at Ray Romano like, yo, this is a motherfucking wise guy here. You know what I mean? I don't look at that when I see Ray
Yeah,
Romano.
but if you have these characters, use them. You know what I mean? You have these good actors. Ray, he's a funny guy. He did a little bit more drama in this. You know what I mean? Use your characters more. Keitel, that's one thing for Keitel. He's a great actor. You see him in little parts. He nods his head. He says a couple little things. He's gone out of the picture. I want him like, I know you could only give these actors so much screen time because if not, the movie's gonna be freaking 5 hours. But an extra 2 or 3 minutes of dialogue, I think would have helped out a little bit more. But I'm not knocking the movie. It feels like a great movie. I just have those little things that could have been a little bit better.
I agree with you. With how much was in the movie and stuff like that, it still felt like a lot was missing. I agree with you.
Yeah,
As much
yeah,
as they try to put a lot of backstory into it, it still felt like a lot was missing. It was like in Goodfellas. Great movie.
Didn't see the
Had
movie.
what's up?
I didn't see the movie.
Uh, well, like in Goodfellas, for instance. In Goodfellas, there's a lot of stuff that happens in Goodfellas. There's a lot of development behind everything, every character, every situation, all that stuff, and yet it still felt like there wasn't enough explained. You know what I mean? At times, Casino was almost the same way. The Casino was nothing but explanations for every detail, for every character, what they're going through, why they're doing things, and it still felt like I felt like there wasn't enough development. So I can understand that. It's kind of expect that now from Scorsese though, like to be a little bit more of his calling card. You know what I mean? For it to be like
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a lot of detail, but almost like a lot of facts and a lot of detail without giving you a lot of detail. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah, looking at Rotten Tomatoes score right now, yeah, of course, the tomato meter, okay, of course, going on here, of course, for all their people, 96%, 86%. Um, Audience reviews right now for it, which actually looks really good. I mean, they got great stuff. I myself 100% agree with all the positive reaction for this movie. I really think that it's definitely something people should watch. Definitely. Um,
Yeah, it's like I told you too. If I could buy it on Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, I would immediately buy it and add it to my library, so I don't have to just depend on Netflix to carry it. That I could have my own copy, that I could watch it whenever. You know what I mean? That's how
yeah,
I only buy movies that I really love that I want to see over and over again, and this is one of them.
I think
That's
that's kind of
definitely.
the point of Netflix, though. It's that they want to be like what HBO is. You know what I mean? Like HBO has great stuff. I mean, they've always had. I think we discussed this before. HBO usually has some pretty damn good shows. 6 Feet Under. They had Oz, Game of Thrones, Sopranos. They've had a lot of great things. Showtime's trying to go that same route. So Stars. All that stuff, and they have a couple good shows and stuff like that. Nothing of which I feel like I need to totally drop everything and totally either get those services on cable, which I don't recommend cable, or get those services, get the digital services or whatever, so I can go ahead and just watch those shows. I don't feel that. I felt that with Game of Thrones. I felt that with HBO. I wanted to watch Game of Thrones. That's what's really sold. As a matter of fact, I remember seeing after the final season ended with Game of Thrones, the following Sunday, subscriptions dropped off on HBO over 80%. You know what I mean? And they were hoping to recoup that back with Watchmen, and that's not going well at all. Watchmen is another topic for another show, but
I need to catch up on that one. I've heard some things about people praise it, other people saying it ain't that great.
it's
When I saw the
catching a lot of
trailer, it never really interested me. I love the movie. I saw it in
right.
theaters. I own a copy, but I don't know. Like a part of seeing that when I first saw the trailer, it didn't really hook me, and it still hasn't. I'll just have to watch it one day that I'm bored, and I have the HBO subscription service, and maybe I'll give it a shot. But like you said, it's another topic we could talk about.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like I'm looking at some of the reviews right now for Irishman. It's like it's a good story with an amazing cast. Definitely worth seeing, but it's also very long and reminiscent of Goodfellas, if not others, right down to the music. So it loses points there. It's what this person said. I disagree with that. This person right here gave it a 1.5 star. Just a bunch of rehashed tropes that the whole group has done ad nauseum. Yeah.
What's your favorite Martin Scorsese movie? Seeing all of them that you've seen so far.
The movies? On Martin
Yeah.
Scorsese's movies?
Which one would you put
Oh,
up there, your top one?
man, I would say
You
Casino.
got Taxi Driver, Casino,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Goodfellas.
Taxi Driver is really good too, but I think Casino's got to be the one up there.
More to this one.
Probably more than this one. A little bit more than this one.
To me, I think they're neck and neck. They're tied. To me, it feels because I think it's just a joy seeing Pacino finally work with Martin. You know what I mean? And seeing them all together. I
I'm
think
gonna
that's what
be
gives it a
honest with.
little
I'm
bit
gonna
more
be
edge.
100% honest with you right now. The reason that Casino trumps this one is for one major factor for me. Casino
What's that?
had a good ending. It had closure to the ending.
Yeah.
This one felt like, so now what? It's kind of like watching a movie. Like, for instance, I bring this up all the time. Like watching the movie 12 Monkeys. You sit there, you watch the whole movie of 12 Monkeys. And for those that haven't seen it, I'm sorry, spoiler alert. But you're sitting there watching 12 Monkeys, the movie, not the show. Watching it, you go through this whole movie, you're rooting, you're rooting, and rooting, and then you come to find out that it falls flat, that Bruce Willis fucks up. It's over. It's end. It's done. The good guy does not win, supposedly in this. And it kind of leaves you that feeling like, oh man, like what the shit? This was one of the first movies to do that. And then you go leaving the theater and you're over here like, so wait, what the fuck did I just spend my fucking almost 3 hours for? You know what I mean? Like I just spent almost 3 hours watching a movie, rooting for the good guy to win, and he doesn't, and it's like the same old shit all over again. You know what I mean?
Well, that one you have to understand the director. The director, if you've seen his movies, you know that he makes some crazy little shit. You know what I mean? It's
No, and I
weird
and I
movies.
hundred I 100% agree. But if you're someone just going to the theater just to see like, oh, Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis, I want to watch it, and you see a movie and you go in thinking like it's any old action movie, like, oh, I'm gonna do, I want to see this. It's gonna be this and that. It's gonna be this, and the good guy's gonna win. It's gonna be a great story. No, and then you see that, you're like, what the fuck? You almost feel like, damn, I just got ripped off like for this movie because I was expecting the good guy to win. That's the point. That's the point.
Nah, but
Cause
some of the best movies, the guy doesn't win. You know, even for a
yeah,
little bit. Empire Strikes Back.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You're right. You're right.
There's some movies that and it's different. Some ways when you see a movie, you're like, great. You know, I was really expecting that. Everybody gets their happy ending. But on some movies, that's enjoyable enough that when the bad guy wins, you're like, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? I'm fine with it. But
Yeah, I get you.
that's all right.
But definitely on our end here, I 100% recommend it.
Yeah,
100%.
me too. Me too.
Definitely, definitely,
Watch it.
definitely need to watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. So we move on to our next topic of discussion. Next topic of discussion right here is, of course, I can't state it enough. It feels like every episode I do of Let's Chat, we talk about something Star Wars related, Baby Yoda style. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna
And
be like that until December. It's gonna be like that until we watch the movie.
that's true because there's 3 more episodes left for this season. Um, so I'm really intrigued. Um, not gonna give away today's episode because today launched
Or
their 5th episode. I'm not going
or the
to,
last one.
or 4 because Mark has not even seen 4, and you guys can individually yell at him all you want. Definitely write down in the comments, you know, just Mark G, what the shit are you doing? Why haven't you watched? You're supposed to be like, oh, movie guru or movie TV guru, and I can't even watch it. Trash the shit out of him. Trash the hell out of him for it. Same thing for Dragon Spirit. Trash him on why the fuck they're not watching this shit.
That's even worse. He hasn't seen one
Well,
episode.
it's understandable because he's not gonna pay for Disney Plus just to watch
There's
one
a
show.
free
I understand
trial.
that.
I'm pretty sure he can get a.
Well, what I would say then in his case, in Dragon Spirit's case, wait for all the seasons to launch, get the free trial so you can binge watch all of them and you're good to go.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, some people
Yeah,
do that too. They don't like to wait, and they would rather just watch the whole story together. That's actually pretty smart.
yeah,
I
those are.
do that with a couple of my shows.
Yeah, you
I
know what
wait
they're
for the
called?
season to be done.
I
They're
still
called.
haven't seen Game of Thrones, so
Jesus.
Hey, you're fine. You're fine with Game of Thrones. It
Yeah,
didn't
well, I
end
mean,
good.
you're good until the last season. You're good
Season
till
5, and that's it.
let that end with no closure. Let that end for no. So Mandalorian, I'm really liking Mandalorian. There is a lot of static going on right now on Mandalorian though. A lot of people are talking a lot of shit, and only because of Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda gifs are just running rampant all over the internet. So if you've been on social media and you have not seen Baby Yoda gifs, you need to do something with your life, is what the fuck I'm saying. Because there's a lot of shit going on, because you were missing out. You were missing out crazy. Baby
I want
Yoda.
a baby Yoda. I'm
Ba-
saying it right there. I don't care. I'm a 35-year-old man. I want a baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda is majorly adorable, and if you, you're missing out, you're missing out on Yoda. Yoda is a
Yeah.
beautiful, adorable creature, and you
Are
can't miss
they
out.
selling merchandise already for it? I don't know if it's bootleg. I heard that
It's
they're
probably
selling
bootleg because Disney didn't want any toy companies to
like
uh,
copyright and all that stuff.
to leak it before they
Okay.
get. So they didn't have it ready.
Okay.
So here's the thing right now, and actually I just put Baby Yoda on the screen for y'all real quick. I didn't have it prepped, and sorry for the crudeness of it, but Baby Yoda is on the screen right now for you. Um,
And
Wait,
Jesus
wait.
got debaptized.
yeah, right, exactly. So now I will say this. So yes, Andy's right. They're unauthorized selling of their shit. The question I have is,
Yeah.
Funko got the official licensing from Lucasfilms to go ahead and make Baby Yoda merchandise for their pops. And GameStop's just started selling some of their bobbleheads recently. There's a lot of backlash behind it though, because limited quantities, things like that. A lot of people are pissed. But Baby Yoda, I don't understand what the whole point of this is. Let me show you folks, and you have it on the screen right now here for you. Let me show you something that's very strange. And what's strange is the critic reviews were 94%, right? 94% with a 95% viewer rating, which is amazing. Usually you don't really see viewer ratings going over what your critics get. So this is actually really good. You got some people, giving it your 3 star or whatever bullshit, 2 stars. The product looks great, but the plot and character development seems to suffer from a plight similar to other Star Wars projects of late. Yeah, whatever, Jimbo. Sorry, bro. It's actually really good. I'm liking what they're doing with the show. I personally like it a lot. I think it's gonna be a fantastic show. Um, this season's gonna go
Wait.
down pretty well.
So are people dissing it? You're saying some people are dissing
Some
it because
people
it's
are
not
dissing it.
like Star Wars?
Yeah, like
That's
right
the
here.
thing. It's
Like
Star
so
Wars universe.
so I'm
It
gonna put
shouldn't be
this out
Star
right
Wars.
here. This is I'm gonna put him on blast right now. All over. I'm putting John M on blast right now here, and he gives it a 3 star rating. This was only 36 minutes ago, by the way, and he posted this up. He just posted it up. So John M, I am putting you on blast. I'm making you look like shit. Baby Yoda is looking at you like the fuck. I only saw the first episode, but 65% of communication is nonverbal. How can the dude act with that stupid helmet on? Plus, can we be a little more original than the protagonist walking nonchalantly to the bar, only to confront? Okay, he can't even spell. He can't even say that. Only to confront it by
Okay,
idiots.
first
Only
of all,
to
that's
be.
blasphemy because you know what? If he's ever seen a Star Wars, Darth Vader always wore a helmet. You knew when he was angry. You could tell when he was hurting. That was the acting of it. You know what I mean? The helmet shouldn't do anything for it.
Yeah,
When he
this
sees
guy
his
is.
son being attacked by the Emperor, you could tell he's trying to decide, should I help my son? He's like in despair. I don't think the helmet is a factor. I love the helmet. Like I said, I hope he keeps it on the rest of the season. If he takes it off on the last episode, that's fine. But I'm happy if he keeps it on forever. Honestly.
I like it. It keeps it a nice little mystery
The
to it
mystery.
as well.
Exactly.
And even here, like and he finishes off his comment with this. Note that he didn't drink anything at the bar because he has the stupid helmet on all the time. He's a fucking Mandalorian, bro. If you knew your fucking story, John M. If you knew your story, you knew your
If
backstory,
you knew your Star
no
Wars.
Mandalorian ever takes off their helmet until death. From the moment they put it on to the moment they take it off is when they're dead. All right. They take it off privately. They never show it. That is the biggest thing that they do. They don't ever take their fucking helmet off. So if he took his helmet off to have a drink at the fucking bar and that bothers you, John, bro, you're watching the wrong fucking series, bro. I'm sorry. This ain't Star Trek. All right?
Now I want to see the Mandalorian. Well, everybody's calling him Mando. Now I want to see Mando go to a pool just in shorts, wearing the damn helmet if it bothers him so much. I'm pretty sure that's gonna piss him
He
off.
does. He won't take off.
The damn helmet.
He won't take off his armor. He won't take off. These are the type of comments. And look,
Yeah.
I know I'm about to put people on blast. I'm probably gonna catch a lot of shit on YouTube for it. And I don't give a fuck. All right, I don't give a fuck. All right, fuck Copa. All right, at this
Or
point,
going
I'll
to the
purposely
beach with
come
the
out and say
helmet,
this.
and that's it. The beach
So-
and shorts.
So here's the thing. All right, those type of comments are kind of the same type of people that are like, oh, I can't. You know what? I was gonna have sex with this girl, but I'm not going to now because I bought some cheap lifestyle condoms and they popped. And fuck lifestyle. Why do they make cheap condoms where I want to have sex? Like, why don't you just buy real fucking condoms, bro? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you buy real condoms? Why are you talking shit? Oh, I can't have sex with that girl because she doesn't take her hoodie off. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the
That
fuck
stuff
out of
doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's just hate, just trying to like, hey, I have an opinion of something that I really don't know about. Because, like I said, if you've seen the original Star Wars, he's not the first guy to wear a helmet, and you've seen them express their feelings, and that's just great acting. You know what I mean? It's like that part. No spoilers that much, but episode 3, I believe, when he's trying to make a decision of what should he do with Baby Yoda. I was telling my wife about it. You can just see, like he's trying to think, like, should I do the right thing? You know what I mean? Like that's great acting for me. And he has the damn helmet on, and it shows like it's closing up, like they're zooming on his face a little bit. You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
not even the face, but the helmet, and you can see all that expression that he's trying to decide, what should I do? I did my mission. Should I do something I'm not supposed to? You know what I mean? And that expresses through the helmet, but I think that's just great acting.
Well, the question
I
I
don't
have
think
is
that.
this: like, Boba Fett never took off his helmet either until he lost his head.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, Boba Fett was awesome." Nobody
You know
ever
what I mean?
bitched about that.
Or Django. I'm sorry, Django. Django didn't take off his helmet either until his head was cut off.
Yeah, well, he did in the prequels, but that's before. But I'm
Yeah.
talking. Well, Boba never
Mhm.
did at all.
Yeah, and
But
it's just something that they do. They just don't take them off.
yeah, I don't know why
Actually, the Star Wars Rebels, um, they have their helmets off, but they're usually with friends
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I
or
remember.
family.
okay. But to others they don't show it. If you watch episode 4, and I'm not trying to spoil it, but in episode 4 it actually just explains why. So once again, John, if you just watch the first episode, you need to sit and watch for character development and explanations for you. This isn't Mr. fucking Rogers, bro. We're not going to explain all the shit to you in the first fucking episode. Alright? You need to watch. You need to watch. If you're a Star Wars fan, you need to watch. If you're not a Star Wars fan, then just say you're not a Star Wars fan. You don't like the shit.
It
Alright,
seems like
great.
he's not a fan. It seems he would have known this already. You know what I mean? If they've been here for a while, these movies.
Here's another one right here, and I'm not going to put it on screen so I don't call this person on blast. I feel bad already. Fuck John. John pissed me off. All right. Severely overrated. It's a basic show for basic people. Well intended and well crafted, but lacks originality and fails to uphold the Star Wars legacy. Disney has ruined Star Wars, pandering to as large an audience base as possible, and it shows money signs over art and meaning. Okay, this is a two-sided comment that I gotta talk shit about. All right, fuck this guy first of all. Second of all right, he's right on one point, and Disney has ruined Star Wars with a lot of shit. All right,
Some stuff.
there's some things and quite a lot of things that they've already ruined Star Wars with. All right, so I'm gonna be
Like
honest on
Pirate
that.
Ryan Johnson.
Jar Jar ain't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into the whole Jar Jar right now. The whole Jar Jar.
Yeah,
ain't
it's gonna be a
bullshit.
2-hour video.
Yeah,
Just bitching
we're
about
already 1 hour in, man. So, look, so I agree with this guy on what he's talking about. But first off, don't come under this thing and say, but lacks originality and fails to uphold the Star Wars legacy. First and foremost, motherfucker, this is original that they're doing
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
show. This is
Yeah.
very original. This is something different. All right. Second of all, this isn't the 1983 Star Wars Christmas special, motherfucker, where the Ewoks are fucking dancing with fucking C3PO and shit. I'm not saying that that wasn't good, but it wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? It was stupid. You know. By the way, Disney, if you're watching this shit, you need to bring back the fucking original fucking Star Wars cartoon. All right, the one that they only launched for like 6 episodes and shit on ABC. I remember watching that shit as a child. That shit was a bomb. Fuck that. Fuck everything else. But that was bomb. Anyway, yeah. Fuck this comment. Like this guy kind of makes a point, and then he makes himself look stupid. All right. Yeah, I can understand where Disney has ruined a lot of the Star Wars shit. I do feel that over merchandising, whatever, and we're not going to get into that. But at the same time, you say yourself, you contradict yourself that is well crafted. That's well crafted, you know, and but that it lacks originality and fails. So what the fuck are you? Then it's not well crafted, sir. Yeah, it's not well crafted. If it's well crafted, then it has all the pieces that it needs to be well crafted. You know, that's like me making a fucking ashtray out of clay. And it's like, oh, it's well crafted, but there's nowhere to put the cigarette, and there's no indention for the fucking ashes. So no,
Oh,
it's
it's not
not well
original,
crafted.
Ray. Yeah, it's not original. It's not
But it's
sacred.
not. But my originality is that it's not an ashtray. It's just a fucking brick. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, bro, like, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, I'm gonna stop reading these fucking comments because I'm about to fucking lose my shit. So, Mandalorian, definitely definitely a season you need to watch. Is it worth now? Now, again, let's say you know nothing about Disney, or maybe you do, and maybe you don't really care as much. So I'm gonna put it to this: is Disney Plus worth getting for The Mandalorian?
Yes, yes.
What do you think, Andy?
Um, I guess not just not was it's not just that. It's all the other shows that is also on
Yeah,
there.
he's right. There is a lot of good shows. I told
I
Ray, me and my wife
Or
like watching the Jeff Goldblum show. You know, all the crazy stuff that he just explores and just the way he is.
yeah, his show's
You know,
pretty. His show's pretty out there. Like Jeff Goldblum himself is a fucking character that trips me out.
yeah, he's
and
pretty much
then
like a cartoon character. Just pops up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gargoyles is on there if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah.
I
Gargoyles is
watched that.
there. The original X-Men cartoons are there.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's on there. Like all the original stuff that you liked back when you were younger or whatever is the shit.
Tailspin. I watched
Yeah,
Tailspin with my kids.
Tailspin. The original DuckTales is there, not the new DuckTales. Like
Dark
things.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. And yes,
just with that.
but the question I had was if regarding disregarding all that shit, disregarding all of that, just for the Mandalorian, is Disney Plus worth getting?
Me personally, I can tell you yes, because yes, that would be a big catch to have that show to watch, but Disney's library. I have kids. You know what I mean? I love watching all the Disney movies. I buy my kids' movies. I buy them Blu-rays, digital, more digital. You know, this way I buy more digital. I've
Right.
been wanting to buy them. Sometimes I buy them, but movies that come out, but the movies I really want to buy them are Disney movies. And if you ever go to a store, Walmart, Best Buy, wherever, a Disney movie is really expensive, close to $24, even for the original.
Dude, you have to
If I want
sell
to get
one
my
of
little
your
girl,
kids to get one fucking Disney movie, bro. You gotta be like, I
yeah,
got
that's
five
why
kids. I'm sorry, one of these motherfuckers is needing because
yeah,
I need
that's
to
what I'm
get
saying.
fucking
They're
Bambi.
expensive. These movies are expensive, and when you get the subscription service, you get all those movies technically for $7 a month.
Yeah, you
You
see,
know what I
that's
mean?
that's
Yes,
the
they're
best
not
selling
yours
point.
forever,
Like
but
we
you can watch
discussed
them to your
last,
heart's content.
yeah, like we discussed last episode. It's like, you know, $7 a month, and you can run it on two screens or whatever. Have at least two
Four.
screens. Yeah, up to four screens. I'm sorry that you can run on it. That's not bad at all. As a matter of fact, I'm probably gonna float Andy my fucking membership so you can watch that shit.
Yeah,
Um,
you should have just he'll start his own little profile, a little Olaf.
yeah,
Just
just put a little
avatar.
Olaf. That would be awesome. He has a little Olaf. That'd be cute. We'll put that on the next. We'll put that on the next episode.
No,
But
you
yeah,
pick it for him. You just make his profile say that's yours. You cannot change it.
yeah, you can't change it, asshole. I'm locking it down.
That's the catch.
But yeah,
But for me,
let's.
yes. Me,
Co-
yes, it's worth it. Even if it was just the Mandalorian, I don't get the tailspins, but as long as we got the movies, the Disney movies, that it's
Right.
still worth it for me.
I get you.
It's a great show. Yeah,
I
big
agree. I
yes.
agree. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Yes, for everything else. Now, if you were just going into it just for Mandalorian, it's still worth it. I mean, at $6 or $7 a month just to watch a series. I mean, let's be honest. That's way cheaper than going with HBO Go or
Netflix.
HBO Now or Netflix just to watch one season or one show. That's like paying for Netflix every month. Was it like $14 now every month?
It depends on what plan you get.
I think the cheapest plan they have the HD plan, the cheapest plan they have, I think is like at 11
For
now
which
or
one?
something
Which
for
service?
Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's, and then what we have, since we have 4K TVs, we have the 4K package, which is up to four screens. That's close to 15,
Yeah.
$16. You know what I
So
mean?
imagine paying for a Netflix account just to watch Stranger Things. If that's all you're doing and that's what you like, that's great. But imagine paying half of that to watch a great show. I mean, it's a great show. So imagine if you could pay $6 just to watch Stranger Things. Wouldn't you do it? Just for Stranger
Yeah,
Things. Fuck everything else on it.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I
They
mean?
probably have more people subscribing if
Yeah,
they had them at that
exactly.
price.
Exactly. And that's what Disney's banking on, you know. Side note before we end this episode. Side note, a couple quick rundowns here, and I know we're already over an hour in here, guys, and I apologize. But side note here. So the Harley Quinn DC show launched a while back, and I believe they're on their third episode, fourth episode. I can't really say. Right, that launched today. Some people are liking it, some people aren't. I have not watched it, so I'm gonna be sure to go ahead and watch the shows
I
up to
have DC
recent.
Universe. I'll give it a shot too.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot, and we'll be able to come back at that for next week's episode, so we can go ahead and discuss a little bit of that.
You know what I
Also,
want to talk about also?
what's up?
Let's talk about the streaming. Since we've been talking about Disney, let's talk about the future streaming, like HBO Max coming out. I want to hear your
Yeah,
thoughts on some of that
yeah,
stuff.
definitely. We could definitely do that. Let us know what you guys think. Definitely don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you don't like what we did, don't like what we do, things like that. Uh,
Fuck
We're
you.
still gonna do it.
fuck you, fucking Andy. No, not fuck you. We're still,
No,
if you
we're
don't
still
like,
gonna do it.
give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, guys. Or and be sure to like and subscribe here for us. Also, want to, yeah, right there, right here is where they are. Anyway, like and subscribe. If you don't like it, I understand. Hit that down button or whatever, the thumbs down, and
The
let us
like
know.
now, hit
Definitely,
the like.
yeah, definitely hit the like. Definitely hit subscribe. With this whole thing going on with Copa, and I'm going to cover that in another video later. This whole Copa thing that's going on, that's starting in January here, which is going to cause a lot of things. If you saw the opening of this screen of my show here, of course, I give this opening right here, which gives a warning here. The reason I'm doing that warning now is because a whole bunch of bullshit with Copa going on, which is a law that it's stupid. But fuck YouTube for that. All right, fuck you, YouTube. Fix that shit. Anyway, besides that, doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for checking it out. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here, Andy, or Dragon Spirit 76. You can follow him on Mixer at Dragon Spirit 76, or you can follow him
Yeah.
on Twitter, I believe, right?
What?
We can follow you on Twitter as well. What's your Twitter handle?
It's Raven Dragon 76.
Raven Dragon 76. Awesome. And thank you, Mark, the Movie Man G, once again for being on this episode as well. Thank you for being there yesterday or last week and this week as well. Thank you so much here. Do we have a social media account that we can follow here?
Nah,
All
I'm
right.
very, very private. But you know what? Like having Andy on, let's have him on again. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
definitely. We should have him there. Definitely have him on. Once again, I'm going to show you my splash screen here. You can follow me on Facebook at Rage Gaming TX. You can follow me on Twitter at RageRGV. Follow me here on YouTube, of course, at the DJ Rage. Instagram, DJ Rage, and also on Twitch at DJ Rage
MySpace.
2. No MySpace or Moco Space or whatever. And also you can also follow me on Mixer as well at DJ Rage. Once again, thank you so much for coming joining. Let's chat. Thank you so much once again, and I say that again and again because I can't stress how much I really thank you guys for watching it. Once again, like, subscribe. Let me know how you feel. Leave comments on what you want us to do on our next episode. Y'all have a wonderful day and take it easy. Thank you all for joining.
Peace.